Hold on. And it is live. Welcome one, welcome all. Hail, Lethal the Lightning. Lethal the Lightning. If you want, do you want to come on? Oh shit. Fuck. I always do that. I never mute myself to begin with. Lethal the Lightning. Did you want to come on, good sir? If you want to come on, I can send you the link. And of course, the only reason why I let you have him back is because I had won. I got him wrapped around my finger, and then I was like, it's no fun anymore. But it's it's still a process. It's still like a huge healing process. Just everything. It was doing, good. Like for it was better. Like after I found out about my mom and the biopsy and whatnot. But then, because I was in my room playing on my PS4, and so she came up to me, or I was like, because she was going to bed, I was like, "Mom, are you okay?" So, hold on. And so she was in like complete tears. Don't die on me, Mara. Lisa will be very
Sorry,
upset.
allergies.
It's okay.
It's been a bad day for that.
Oh, yeah, no, I hear you. I was sneezing like 5 or 6 times, maybe. And so she came up and like I asked her, "Mom, are you okay?" And she was like, "No," and she told me about my uncle. And like, even though I wasn't like 100% close, he's like a great uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it still hurts. And then like coupled with the fact that I have to fly out to Michigan in next month for like a day or two,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like everything is like bottling up and whatnot. But the good thing is I see my counselor on uh, Wednesday, so that should help maybe help her to give me some coping tools and whatnot.
That's good. I want you
Yeah.
to, try to keep that, keep that appointment. Is
Oh, I
you know,
I I have.
you know,
It used to be every week, but then she was like, "Can we do it bi-weekly?" And I was like, "Whatever, sure." Because some of the times, like, I don't, I won't go, like, I don't have a lot of things to talk about to last a whole session, and it's like 45-minute session. So it's just, it's, it's tough. Like, it's tougher than tough sometimes. Some days
hmm
are, some days are better than others. I mean, you know, because, yeah, it's just, it's hell. But I do appreciate you checking on me and whatnot because you don't have to. Chris doesn't have to, and no one does. But the fact that you guys do it makes me feel a lot of the love. Like Kiri, like when you sent the message in the AM, she was like, um, she reached out to me, uh, Kay and Drunk 3PO, and that was cool.
well, it's like you just say we don't have to, but we want to because we care about you, and
Yeah.
when you talk about everything that's going on with you and the fact that you do feel depressed, we want to make sure that
Hmm.
do um you do get better. And
Hmm.
as I said last night, life generally isn't easy. Sometimes life happens to you all at once, and all you can do is take your licks at that point. But at the same time, for every bad, there is good. Sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes it's not as noticeable as as obvious as we would like. But there's always something positive that comes out of even the darkest times we go through.
Hmm.
And that's generally how I live my life because I don't want to let that negativity and stress overwhelm me.
Yeah. That's a That's a very good, I guess, um, philosophy.
Hmm.
Very
And
good words to live by.
yeah, that's what what I've told you is I don't let people give up on themselves because of, I've been in situations where I've also felt suicidal, and I get and then I'll get to I've gotten to a point where like my life where I can overcome that, and
Mhm.
I can offer just a shoulder to cry on or just an ear for someone to tell me their problems.
Mhm.
Because I don't want them to ever get to that situation where I felt myself in for a time.
Mhm. Truth. That is true. Oh, Caitlin's in the chat, and
Hmm.
so is Husky, and of course your shipping mate. Fucking lethal.
He's a sweetheart.
When he wants to be. When he doesn't want to be, he can be a pain in the ass. When you get him on Mad Max Fury Road. Lethal, Mad Max Fury Road is a darn good movie.
I'm not getting in the middle of that.
That's
You
okay.
two can duke it out.
That's okay. Sometimes I just like triggering people.
Hmm.
Sometimes
Oh,
because the reactions are funny.
oh yeah. Oh,
Some
all I have to do is tell him I think Frozen is overrated.
wait, what?
I think Frozen is overrated.
And Lethal loves it.
Yeah. So,
Oh my
so
god!
it's, I just all I have to do is say that to him.
Wow. I mean,
So,
I don't think it's overrated, but I
mhm.
do. I I don't know.
I mean, I'm not
Uh,
necessarily that it's a bad movie.
mhm.
I just think it got way too much hype than it deserved.
Damn. And I bet you and Lethal duke it out like that.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Because I think part of it
Ugh.
was I got sick of hearing "Let It Go" every time I went into the Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
It
You know,
always
I
seemed
can
to be
start.
timed that
I can.
way.
I can start
Every
singing
time,
that song if you want.
yeah. Every time I walked in, they were playing that soundtrack, and I was like, just yeah, I want to take all the CDs they have here and just burn them.
I can start singing that song if you like.
No, please, dear God, no, no,
Let it
please,
go. Let
no.
it go. That's the way to get you triggered. Is just sing that
Yes,
song.
pretty much. Just sing that
It's
stupid song.
it's not stupid. It's
Brings
a beautiful song.
well, when you hear it every time you go into a store, no, it loses its luster at that point. You just wanna break the CD in half.
Oh my god, such violence.
Yeah. Look, I swear, every time I went into that stupid Barnes and Noble, they
Yeah.
were playing that soundtrack. I was like, okay, once is good, twice, it's coincidental at that
Mhm.
point walking to the Barnes and Noble, but every time I was like, nope.
I get it. I get it. I know with because there's this one chef at my job who just loves to just say things at the wrong time. So he'll just constantly keep on just being an ass about things and just saying them when it's not the right time,
Hmm.
I guess. And so I finally got him back because he down here in Boston, uh, we had the Patriots, the Red Sox,
Hmm.
the Bruins, and the Celtics, and he's a die-hard Tom Brady fan. So
Hmm.
he was like telling me about how about I guess Tom Brady went on a hike, and I was like, who the fuck cares about Tom Brady? Like I love the Patriots, but it was just, uh, and so he was just, and so he just said, and I said, or no, I said, who the hell cares about Tom Brady going on a hike? And he flipped me off, and it was like one of the best moments because I was like, I finally got to you.
Oops, jeez. Sorry, I
Mom
knocked.
dropping things left and right.
Hmm.
Aww.
But
Miss is a sweetheart. She just sent me a beautiful message on the DMs. She's gonna be on tomorrow night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You were gonna say, but
Oh well, I was gonna say, well, we're also gonna duke it out because I'm a Pittsburgh girl, so we're not fans of Patriots.
fuck the Steelers and the Penguins. Where are the
I don't watch them, but I'm not a fan of the Patriots either.
Where are the Steelers? I mean, where were the Steelers this past year?
I'm not saying they're good. I'm
Okay,
saying
good.
that the coaching staff sucks.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
just saying
Where
that
are
I'm
the?
a Pittsburgh girl through and through,
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
and we have a thing. We don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Cleveland Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals either.
Well, I hate those two teams either.
I call the Cleveland Browns. I call them the Cleveland
Mhm.
Brown Stains,
Oh
and
god,
the
that's
Cincinnati
that's really
Bengals.
gross. Thanks for grossing me out.
There you go. And
You're
I call and
horrible.
I am.
Lethal. I do agree with you at Frozen. It's such a great movie. Mars wrong for thinking it's an overrated movie. He just asked Lethal just asked me, Thomas, what's your favorite video game? Lethal. It's not Mortal Kombat. I'll tell you that. Um, it has to be the Lego franchise, like Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars, Lego Lord of the Rings. If they made a Lego James Bond, I would be in love with Marvel. I mean, sorry, I'd be in love with the company that makes the Lego games.
We're not going to do that. James Bond is too
Oh
toxic
my
masculine
god.
now because he has to be Me
That,
Too friendly.
and that's true, but I guess like we'll see what happens. Like like all this hype, all this stupidity, um, could just be like, could all just be like BS. Like they could be running their mouth,
Mm-hmm.
like how I don't know. Lethal, I'll join you. I'll help you convince Mara how good Frozen is. You and me will band together. A British/American and an Aussie can't beat the power of a Mara.
I said you can try.
Oh,
You can try.
We'll do more than try.
I've got the Middle Eastern stubbornness. So
Yeah, that won't help. That
we also have a fire to us. So I just said you can try.
But that won't help. That won't save you now.
I think I can at least turn lethal against you.
Oh.
Yes, I went that way.
Okay, you want to go that way, and I'll take back. I'll take back the fact that he's yours. He's still mine. You want to go turning him against me? I'll take him right back. That's like you pull. What?
I am the Emperor's hand.
I can still take you down, like I did last night.
Oh, you mean when you took him from me?
Oh yeah. And you were like, Lethal just said, the snow grows cold on the mountainside, not a footprint to be seen.
I swear to God.
A kingdom of ice, surrender, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like the something turning sky. Couldn't make it something, doesn't mean I'll try. So maybe this might change your opinion on the song. So this guy who I'm subbed to on YouTube, whose name is Brian Hull, he did Let It Go, but he used Disney characters to sing the song, sing all the lyrics and Let It Go, and he used Goofy, Barbossa, Jack Sparrow, Scar, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, so many others.
No, I haven't seen that. I have seen how it should have ended for Frozen, which I agree with.
Yeah. Lethal just said, the wind is howling like a swirling storm.
Both of you are
Sure.
killing me right now.
Yes. I told you we would. A Aussie and a British American. I told
Actually, I think I have British in me as well, so
well,
I can counter that in you.
Lethal hates the British.
I also have Irish in me.
Does Lethal? I wonder if Lethal hates the Irish.
I don't know.
Husky. I don't. He well, Husky's on your side. He just
Yeah.
said you can't get me to like Frozen ever. Husky. We have ways of making you talk, or I have ways. Ha 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 ha. I will stoop low to achieve my goals. I guess like the
Should I go through my ancestry to see if there's any countries that are hated or liked? Because I know of British and Irish,
yeah.
Northern France,
Oh my God. You have
Syrian
a
and
lot.
Turkish,
You have a lot of European, British.
Western and Eastern European, Turkish and Syrian,
Oh my God.
Hungarian, Slovakian, Italian/Greek, Native American.
Yeah.
I think my mom found out she has some Lebanese in her.
Lethal said, "I hate the soy. I hate the soy Brits are okay, I guess." Lethal. That was an improper sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of.
Actually, in a way, I'm through my dad's side. My dad, we're
Mhm.
distantly related to Prince Philip.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of
So
cool.
yeah. So
Oh my
I'm
God.
next time there's a royal baby
Yeah.
birth, I'm going to write to them and ask them why I haven't been invited to any damn christenings.
Mhm.
But we're like basically descended through the line of Prince Philip and Queen Victoria somehow.
It's actually kind of cool.
So I'm royalty.
You know what? I have a. That's great. That's great. That won't help you.
Huskies like the British really do suck though.
Fuck you, Husky. Husky, I hate you more than I hate you before. Mary's live on with Mecca on her Mecca's channel right now. Because I'm just scrolling through.
Oh dear God, Miss, no.
I'm gonna check it, but I'm gonna check what's said. But I also want to see. I haven't seen Proper all.
I do like that. I do like what you wrote.
I'm gonna check it out in a second. I haven't seen Proper all day in the KOTOR chat.
I haven't seen them all day either.
That's weird. Couldn't keep it in. Heaven knows I tried. Giggity. Small picture. Wow. 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 Husky, you don't have to like them, but you have to like me. Because I can unmod you easily. Leave Canada fucking alone, you Siberian husky. Canada, miss, go to sleep, you little Mr. Castic something.
Closest thing I've been to Canada is looking over Niagara Falls when I was in New York.
That's beautiful. That's always a beautiful thing. I fucking hate YouTube. So you know how like a lot of people have been saying in the KOTOR chat how YouTube has been unsubbing people. So I subbed to Lethal Lightning on my Tank Engine account, but I guess it unsubbed me because it just said because I'm looking at Proper Jenny's channel and it's showing that I guess I was unsubbed from Lethal Lightning.
That's weird. I mean,
don't worry, Lethal. I subbed right back to you. You and my Australian miss.
That's kind of what happened with the DJD show. Like I could have sworn I was subbed to him, but then when I tried going on my subscriptions to find his videos that he would post in the chat, it wouldn't show up.
That's weird.
And I had to resubscribe to him, so I have no idea what happened.
That's odd. You know what, Miss? You just gave me a really great title for the stream tomorrow night. I'm not gonna tell you. Actually, screw it. I'm gonna tell you. Why is Canada the greatest country in the whole wide world? No, okay, but that's your opinion, Miss, and I get it. But to me, and yes, you're right. I haven't lived in Canada, but I go there almost every summer, so I like it a lot. Canada is near and dear to my heart. I mean, granted, if I lived there, I'd probably think differently, but I don't.
So,
And then
well, I guess in a way, you're both. You both have your opinions.
exactly,
Like both right in a way, but um. So she does come from the fact that she lived there, so she does have that perspective. So
Mhm.
just agree to disagree at this point.
You're right. You will have nothing to say, Miss. Oh my God. Fine. Uh, Miss, will agree to disagree, like Mahar said. Listen to the Jedi, or to the Emperor's Hand, or whatever the fuck it is.
Emperor's Hand. I haven't married Luke yet.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, what will you have to say? Oh my God, Miss, you're a raging crazy psycho person right now. Go back to your closet. You closeter.
Oh my God, lethal.
Victoria sex age. And also Victoria sucks. Is that from the D&D story? What Lethal said?
No. He's talking about Victoria, Canada, I believe. But
Oh, I
no.
thought it was in. Uh, where is it? And you know what? That's fine. That's that's friggin' fine. But don't marries. But don't come in here and like be like a prima donna, okay? You little prima donna. I get to go to a cookout at my job on Thursday, I think. That should be fun.
I think there's a Victoria, Canada as well. And I said
Victoria,
Victoria's in Australia, but I could have sworn there was one.
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna actually Google it. I can't wait for Thursday night because that should be fun. I get to go to a cookout or like a little employee party at work, and that's the first time that they've ever done it.
That'd
So
be
it
cool.
should be
Yeah.
because they work because it's a retirement home, so it's kind of tough to do it. Miss,
And,
hold on, Mara, hold that. Miss, you came in here, said hi, just coming to leave a like before going to sending a quick like, and then we started talking about Canada. You started with me about Canada. So, like, I don't, like, god darn it, Miss. Find somebody else to go and bother, or go to friggin' sleep. Yes, I can't tell you what to do, and I don't care to tell you what to do. So just get the hell out. Free young Stevo unbanned. Hello, free young Stevo. Hashtag free young Stevo. Hashtag unbanned. Hello, all. Hello. I've never seen you in here ever, but that's okay. But no, it's just really tough to go to. How can I get one? And it's not.
Lethal put a comment. Don't worry, in the chat. Don't
Don't
worry about that.
Oh, okay. God. Miss. Okay. Yes, most parts of Canada are probably shitty. I
I think
believe. Huh?
I think when you said Canada's amazing, you set off for Spider Sense, and I just drew her back into the chat.
Wait, what?
Her Spider Sense went off.
Oh, okay.
She sensed you were saying the words Canada's amazing, so she came back in the chat.
Delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Miss. Okay. let me clarify. Oh my god, people. Yeah. Okay, Miss Sarcastic Nerd. Let me clarify, okay? Thank you. I believe you about how you think Canada is a dumpster fire because you live there and you have a different. Clearly, you have a different experience if you live somewhere versus if you visit it. I only go there every few years. Where I go where there's nobody, no people, except for like an Indian village. Apart from that, I don't live in it. I don't stay at a hotel. I don't. The only place I go is the French River, and I stay on an island, away from everyone. I mean, yeah, there's my dumb cousin. There's cousins on the island. There's other people on the island, but apart from that, nothing. So again, agreed to disagree. God darn it. Ooh, Alexander Trapp, Black Angus, and Angus Color, Lee Cole the Fourth, Caitlin the Keeper, Jeremy's Lethal Lightning, and Cyber Nanikoski saw what I posted in the KOTOR chat. Come check it out. And of course, Lee said he couldn't go on. He wasn't going to stream tonight, but he's over on Geek in Disguise to stream right now.
Mm-hmm.
With Daddy Punts, Mad Squirrel, Prime, two people that used to be in here. There who think, yes, that's true. I believe you. Canada is different. Komodo's Vlog Corner. Let's not talk about Canada because apparently it's one way to trigger miss.
Mm-hmm.
Canada on the surface is gorgeous. I agree with Canada as a whole is fucking awful. America's better. Yes, I would agree with you. It's on the surface. It's gorgeous. I agree. But yeah, no, I believe you about that miss. See,
I think there's a province in Canada that's seriously considering seceding from Canada.
that's crazy. I
Yeah.
actually heard about that. Okay, so see, okay, this is a fact. This is which a in not an infomercial, but this is a public service announcement to all those SJWs and NPCs about how to get along with somebody who you necessarily don't agree with. You have to be calm, cool, and collected. Don't come at people. I mean, yeah, me and Miss went at each other, but now we're starting to get along. Follow me and Mrs. or follow Mara and Lethal's example or something. Just don't be stupid. Is the best advice.
Yeah. Hey Thomas, buddy, I'd stay on longer, but I gotta get up early for work tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my work schedule has me starting at 8:30, but I have to get up early to take care of stuff, and
You're
so I'm out of the house by
crazy.
like 8 o'clock or so.
Oh my god. I really wonder how your husband feels about you and Lethal's thing.
You trying to start something?
No. Oh my
Because
god. I'm kidding.
I know.
Don't hate me. God.
No.
Don't hate me or I won't respond to you when you message me tomorrow.
I don't hate you, Thomas.
Oh,
But I gotta go so I can basically pass out and get up around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
you're crazy.
I get paid, so I gotta suffer through it.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
and it's just only gonna get worse once the summer schedule starts. So I won't be able to do late streams like this much
when does
longer until well, let's say June 10th is the start date. So
oh, so you have hold on, I'm gonna look at my phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Monday. So up until that point,
Mm.
I can do some live streams. But after that, no.
After
It's gonna be
that,
tough.
that's the last we're gonna see of Mara for a while.
So I can do like 8:31, like 8:30 ones, 9 o'clock ones, but I can't do any past 10 o'clock.
Makes sense.
So
When
but
that happens, right?
yeah, and
Oh,
then and it's only for the summer. So like once the
well,
summer is finished, then I'll be back to normal basically.
Well, that's good.
So, but I'll say good night to the chat. Good night, Thomas. You can message me whenever you want, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, buddy?
Okay, have a good night. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Good night.
All right, good night. I does anyone else maybe want to come on? I don't know. Yeah, no, Husky, she left. Miss exactly. Quebec wants to leave. Okay, so I'll say this, Miss, about Canada. Canada is a fucked up. Most Canada is, Canada on the surface is gorgeous, but yeah, the Canada in general is just fucking stupid. There's it's. I need to reset this. Hey. Anyways, yeah, no, that's true. Anyways, yeah, I'm only gonna. Ouch. Holy. Ouch. Carrie. Oh man. Sorry. But since you're only saying that, since PB, fuck no. I mean, not tonight. Tomorrow, if you're around. Isn't you're only saying that? Okay, bye, miss. I'm sorry I pissed you off again. Fucking hang. People these days. 7 likes, damn. 7 likes, 6 people watching. Aww. LOL, poor Canada. Caitlin. Poor Caitlin. Caitlin, the keeper of the Jalmays. So guys, I'm gonna have, I think, is America, guys, guess what? Chris Knight is joining me, I think. So you think I should question? I wouldn't. Okay, true. So okay. Sorry. Night, Miss, don't leave me. No, not going to bed at night. All. No, PV. I mean, a little bit, but it's still gonna take some time. So I have Chris joining me, and hopefully soon. Do you guys want me? Should I question him about his love of Indiana Jones 4, or should I question him about his love for The Last Jedi, or should I just pull a mute job on him, guys? Chat. You guys get to hear someone who actually likes Indy 4. Okay, Lethal. Just because I love Lethal Lightning, I'll ask him. I'm kidding. Oh shit. Let's see. Hold on. What's Ask Chris, Indy 4. Caitlin, we seem to question me in your life a lot, which is why I talk about life on my channel. Yes, you do, Kamo's Vlogcorn. You don't shut up about it too. But no, so yeah, PD, I'm feeling, I don't know. I'm still feeling, I mean, I think what really helps is like people like you, Lethal, Caitlin, Miss, Mara, Mara, and just other people just letting me know that they're there for me. Lethal, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow. I'll always love you. Guys, I think Chris Knight is about to come on. Drum roll, please, for The Last Jedi and Indy 4 Lover. Where anything that I say goes. You know, the funny thing is, I kind of wish I had my old channel back, because if that was the case, I would do it. I'm sorry if you guys hear a lot of chewing noises. I'm trying to eat my dinner. Okay, Husky. Maybe. Caitlin, why are you letting your trail go into the street? Why do you have your trail right near the street to begin with, huh? Okay, have fun, PB. Rest in peace. Sorry. I'm just trying to try to deal with multiple things right now. So if I sound very out of it, it's because I am. Chris, hurry up. The chat wants you. Okay, Caitlin, you should put your turtle on a leash. Oh my God. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Chris, the chat. Guys, I need you to start singing in the chat. If you guys want Chris, be like, we want Chris. We want Chris. If you guys don't want Chris, then be like, we don't want Chris. We don't want Chris. Chris, we don't want Chris. I mean, Caitlin, Google it. Google is your answer. Guys, again, if you guys want Chris Knight to appear, saying that I want you to say in the chat, we want Chris. We want Chris. We want Chris. Okay, that's it. But if you don't want Chris, then just say, we don't. Chris sucks. Chris sucks. Chris sucks. Because he sucks sometimes.
So I guess I'm like, well, I'll go back.
I'm sorry for dead air, guys. Don't hate me.
Family, we had a couple Vietnam.
We want Chris. We want Chris. We want Christopher Robin. He was like, okay, so he was literally like saying to me, be right there at 10:56. And then I just sent him a message that said, the chat wants you. So I don't know what the hell is up with him. Um, 0. Is this the sweet sound? Okay, so since Chris isn't coming, I'm gonna have to subject you guys to music, to sing along with Thomas. Disney sing along. I'm gonna subject you guys to Disney sing along songs. Torment you guys until Chris comes.
Too late.
Fuck. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself, sir?
I've been better.
I'm sure.
Lethal Lightning would like to know
Uh-oh.
what is your favorite burger?
Ooh.
Because he was like, because I was like, oh, by the way, and they were actually chanting your name in the
Wow.
chat.
There's no way in hell that happened.
No, Caitlin's saying, we want Chris, and Cyber is saying, Chris, wake up, smell the coffee, smack him. Chris, get on. Chris saved us from Frozen. We want Chris, we want Chris. Chris. That's Caitlin, because I was like, guys, if you start saying we want Chris, or Chris, or if you guys start saying,
Wow.
Chris sucks, maybe he'll come on.
Wow. Look at that. No, my ego heard this. So,
Yeah.
yeah. My
So long.
favorite burger, you know, I like the hot burgers, like a Cajun bacon pepper jack type burger, a black and blue burger, which is kind of like a blue cheese with a dark, or like a blackened hamburger, like really crust, like dark, good crust on the outside. But I like my burgers medium to medium well. And then I would say probably like a classic bacon cheeseburger. But I like mushroom Swiss too. I mean, if you throw them all together, I'd probably be really happy.
Yeah. That's an interesting combo.
Chris saved us from Frozen.
Oh, I mean,
How did what was Frozen?
Okay, so do you like the movie Frozen or do you not like it?
I am a DJ. I have been to way too many birthday parties
Okay.
where they've wanted me to play Let It Go.
So,
And
okay.
I
So,
have never watched that movie because of that damn song.
oh shit. I think you're on Team Mara because Mara was on before you came on. She had to go because she had to go to bed
Mm-hmm.
or something, and so I guess uh, Lethal liked Frozen a lot. Mara thinks it's overrated. So Lethal in the chat was saying the lyrics, some of the lyrics for Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to, and if you didn't come on anytime sooner, I was about to do Disney sing along songs.
Let it go, let it. Or no, my favorite.
Oh shit!
My favorite.
Husky is about ready to kill you. I bet because he hates Frozen.
No, my favorite thing I have on my phone is one. Will you help me hide a body? No one would have to know. It's a play off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
can we hide Chris's body?
no.
Because he loves Indy 4.
I'll listen to you. That's why you really wanted me to come on here.
Well, I mean, I did ask the chat. I said, should I talk to him about what's worse, Indy 4 or okay? So here's a question for you.
Okay.
What's worse, Indy 4 or Last Jedi?
Last Jedi.
Wow.
Without a question.
Okay.
If I had to pick between the two.
Oh, and by the way, this is it's not the gospel according to Thomas, but it's my stream. So I'll mute your ass just like you did in mine. I have to.
Okay.
You get started on your love for indie garbage.
No. You see, I don't. One thing I try to do on my channel, especially, is to not harp on the subjects that divide me from the rest of, like, KOTOR or the Phantom Menace, because while I like them, I don't like them enough to defend them constantly. I will admit the problems that I think they had. Let's put it that way, because I don't necessarily say that they have. I don't say they have as many problems as other people have. Have, but I'll clearly tell you that Indy 4, one of the biggest problems is that while Steven Spielberg beat the dead horse and said they're not aliens, they're interdimensional beings, I will always say, then why did you make them look like that? You could have made them look like Aztecs with giant skulls like that.
Yeah.
And it would have been fine. But you made them look like aliens, long fingers, tall bodies, all that stuff. So, you missed the mark there. They missed the mark with, Shia LaBeouf. Even though I think he's a good actor, I just think he's eccentric on how he does it.
He's not a garbage actor.
Well, you could say that, but let me put it this way.
But
for that role, he was not the right actor for sure. And now I haven't read it yet, but I have an article that I've saved that I need to go read about who Harrison Ford thinks should play Indy next. So it's on somebody's mind, and I guess the only way you could do that is if they make it Indiana Jones. Still, they would have to go back and explore younger things when he was younger.
But okay, and you actually got into one of, not like a topic, but something I just think is interesting. So you were just saying about who Harrison thinks should play Indy 4 or play Indy. What is your thoughts on his comments where he was like, no, he doesn't, aka he doesn't want anybody to play?
Oh, I didn't know that was what he said. I haven't read it yet, but
hold on, I'll see if I can find it and pull it up for you.
I will real quick here.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on here.
Yeah. Kiri.
Okay.
Oh God.
No one will play Indiana Jones film role after me.
Yeah, exactly. This article from Cinema Blend says, "We live in a remake and reboot culture. Will Smith is playing a genie role made famous by Robin Williams in Aladdin. Robert Pattinson reportedly has been cast as the next Batman, the latest in a long line, and even one of Harrison Ford's most iconic roles, Han Solo, is played by the younger Alden Ehrenreich in Ron Howard's solo Star Wars story. Almost any role can be recast right. Well, not quite. Perhaps Harrison Ford is annoyed that Han Solo is played by someone else, because the veteran screen icon appeared on the Today Show this morning and was asked who he would like to see as the next Indiana Jones when he's ready to hang up the whip and fedora. And Ford honestly answered, "Nobody's going to be Indiana Jones. Don't you get it? I'm Indiana Jones. When I'm gone, he's gone. It's easy." This is Ford hilariously added, Ford was being playful, but he was also making it very clear. The role of Indiana Jones will always be his, and none of these young upstarts should be sizing themselves up for the archaeologist's signature leather jacket anytime soon. In fact, as the interview continued, Harrison Ford hilariously added, "This is a hell of a way to tell Chris Pine this. I'm sorry, man." So, do you think he was being sarcastic, or do you think he was being for reals about it?
To tell you the truth, I think he's being for real, and I wouldn't doubt it for a minute.
Yeah.
If he's talked to Spielberg about this, and even Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've toyed with the idea. They did the Adventures of the Young Indiana Jones, and it went over fairly well. It was there for what, 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
But even they put him in one of those as old Indy, and I honestly don't think there's another person that could play it like it is, because, and this goes back to kind of our conversation about Indy 4 we had on my channel. They still use practical effects. Even in the 4th one, they use it probably 90 to 95%.
Yeah.
There's just no actors that can do that anymore. They can't pull off certain things. And we know he isn't doing his own stunts in these movies anymore. We know that. But I guarantee he does as absolutely much as he can. And you just don't have actors like that anymore. And
Except
I don't
for
think
Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts. And
it's just Tom Cruise is trying to kill himself. He realized that Scientology is a crock of shit, and he's scared to death that he has to kill himself now so he can go out without proving that he's wrong. I don't know. I like Tom Cruise. You know, I separate actors and actresses away from who they really are. You can be a giant douchebag in real life, and I don't care, because I like him as Riggs in Lethal Weapon, or I like him as this or that, whatever. That's all I care about. I'm not going to meet this guy. If I ever meet the guy out in public and he's a douchebag to me, I'm liable to say something. But then again, I've met a lot of famous people, and I don't treat them any different than being a person. I don't know. I've learned how to be very down to earth about it. I've walked past people like George Carlin. I worked at a place called Ameristar, or not Ameristar, but Stations Casino here in Kansas City. When we first got Riverboat Gambling here, and we had George Carlin there one time. I would go out and smoke, and I would come back in through the lower floor of the hotel. And I did that one time, and he obviously was going to do something. I think he was there that night, but I walked by him. I recognized who he was, and as I walked by, I didn't even look back at him. And I said, "Hey, George, how you doing?" And I caught him out of the corner of my eye, stop, turn around, look at me like, "Who the hell was that?" Like, I like doing that, where they don't expect to be talked to like a normal person.
Yeah.
But I walk by him like I see him every day of the week. I think there's something to be said about doing that. But
absolutely.
But the thing is with Indiana Jones, you cannot find. I mean, the part was given to Harrison Ford because they saw Indy in Harrison Ford, not because Harrison Ford could play Indy. They tailored Indiana Jones to him.
Yeah.
And yes,
Now,
they tried to cast Tom Selleck. They tried to cast
Yeah.
a few other people, but they both wanted Harrison Ford. But Lucas didn't think he'd go for it, and they knew he was busy. And Lucas
Mhm.
still had him going for Star Wars, but Spielberg wanted him right away.
Yeah.
So it was tailored to him. And to now, I say this
Mhm.
currently as it stands, you're not going to have another. It's not James Bond. You can't just plug a person in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that in 30 years
Mhm.
they won't try to find somebody to reboot or redo the series. It is old Hollywood. Even though it's newer movies, it is old Hollywood.
Mhm.
It's nostalgic how they shoot them. It's nostalgic how they're written. And like old Hollywood, things just get redone. So somebody's going to try it at some point. I don't think Spielberg will let it happen as long as he's alive. I don't think Harrison will let it happen as long as he's alive. And I don't think Lucas will. And Kathleen Kennedy will probably be killed in a flurry of mass punches, stabs, and shots to
Yeah.
her body by all three of them if she tries.
Absolutely. It's. I want to point out something that Kiri Morning said. Hi Kiri, thank you for coming by. She said, "Practical FX is always better than CGI," but I'm biased.
Hell yes. No. Again, I felt good watching Indy 4, watching it, knowing as it went along, I'm like, they didn't just sell out to special effects. Now, I don't know how much special, computer generated special effects they did. There's the sled scene where they're coming out of the test site. That could have been done like that, but that could have been done practically too. The stage set at the very beginning where they're at whatever secret base where the Ark of the Covenant was taken to, that was done on a soundstage. You can tell how the first scene when they're getting him out of the car, that was done on a soundstage. That's how they did these movies. So they kept true to that. They kept true to the campsite and the quicksand. All of those were shot on sound studios. So they're still doing it very similar to how they did the first ones. Now, yes, they have computer graphics, so sometimes it's just easier to get your point across. The nuclear blast, it was done like that. The giant tree cutters in the forest or in the jungle were done with computer graphics, and it's very obvious just that that's done with computer graphics because they didn't do it like that before. They could have done miniatures. They could have done a few other things, but okay, probably cheaper in the long run or quicker in the long run to do it CGI. I didn't fault them for that. But practical effects was always better. I mean, you look at the original Star Wars trilogy and how they did that, and then you watch the behind the scenes and you watch how they did it. It's amazing that they got what they got on screen from just practical effects.
Yep. Which, by the way, I do want to quickly point out something about that. Which, by the way, you gave copies of to several people, which which was just incredible.
Did I get you a copy?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, cool. I thought so. And I mean,
which will be, always. That's all. You'll always be remembered for that, amongst other things.
Yeah, of course. My wonderful time on Shenanigans and yours being completely plastered. That's always great.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip those eventually.
I'm sure you will.
If it makes you feel any better, I got Josiah Rises Big Time because I was on a stream with Josiah with a drunk 3PO Black Angus Lee Cole IV right after I got out of seeing Aladdin because I saw Aladdin yesterday and Josiah was streaming and I went onto Josiah's stream. I sent Josiah a super chat and said, "Drunks better. Black Angus drunk are better. Josiah's great, but I mean, drunk and Black Angus are on a whole other level." Josiah literally paused and he started pointing his sword right at the camera
Hmm.
and it was just hilarious. So then, drunk and Black Angus, we all came and started sniping Josiah's stream. It was hilarious. Drunk suggested that Black Angus should do it. Should do cuts from that stream.
Yeah.
So
I'm reading here.
Yeah.
Cyber says the prequels had practical effects. People
Mhm.
think it was purely
probably.
CGI, but it was a lot of miniature sets. That's true. But
Yeah.
I think with the prequels, the difference was that a lot of it was, if it was live action, if they were right there, they did a lot of it on a blue and a green screen, and you could tell the difference. But not so much that it was blatant. They still did a really good job. I think the prequels were, for the most part, everything we hoped for. We got the story we wanted out of it. Maybe not as strong as the first trilogy,
Mhm.
but it was all brand new, and we didn't have any preconceived notions with the first trilogy. The second trilogy, we came in with, okay, we're going to see Obi-Wan being taught by Yoda. We're going to see Anakin being taught by Obi-Wan. And in the first one, in The Phantom Menace, he changed how it was set up originally.
Mhm.
So he changed some of the things, which George Lucas has the right to do that. But Curie put up there the comment that George Lucas said in the documentary about the making of Jedi, or not Jedi, but Star Wars to Jedi, the making of the saga. He said the practical or the effects without a story is boring. And unfortunately, Disney doesn't listen to that. Marvel and Captain Marvel didn't listen to that because the story was not really there that much. There was a lot of things that just kind of got lost with on that. There's a lot of movies coming out now that just, they don't have that story. Before CGI was really popular, and even like with Jurassic Park, when Jurassic Park first started being made, Stan Winston was racking his brain how he could make it look real. He knew he could do well with miniatures, and he kept on going back to Spielberg and saying, I'll do what I can for you, but it's not going to look as good as you wanted, I don't think. And Stan Winston is just a god in the world of miniatures and stop motion. And when they finally started playing with CGI, Stan Winston made the remark that Ian Malcolm says in the movie. He tells him, I think you're extinct. And Stan Winston actually uttered that. He said, I think I'm extinct. But Stan Winston learned that he needed to be there for the CGI because he could teach them how to use it to help the story. That's what CGI is there for. It's not to take the place of the story. It's there to help the story. But nowadays, it's like they think of all these big scenes and this colorful stuff they can throw on screen, and then they write the story after it. And it used to be, you go in, you'd all sit down at a board table, the boardroom, or at somebody's house in their living room, and you start writing things down on paper. This is what we're going to do. We want this scene. We want this scene. We want this to happen, this to happen, this to happen. And they didn't think about the explosions or the colorful stuff that the CGI or even practical effects would do. They thought about, how do we get our characters, who we've developed already, because they know who these characters are going to be, but they know they have to tell you about these characters to learn who they're going to be. How do we get our characters from point A to point B and have the audience understand why they went from point A to point B? Nowadays, it's like, look, they're at point A, and at the end of the movie, they're at point B, but they don't really give you a ton of the middle points. The Force Awakens is a fairly good point of this. She gets it, and it follows the original Star Wars and the Phantom Menace similarly, but it's kind of, there just isn't much of a movement on it, and it has some of what you need, but it started out very lackluster. And then you take that to The Last Jedi, and then you complicate The Last Jedi with the fact that you still don't know a lot about these characters, but now you're trugging along like you know these characters, and we're just going to keep running with this and keep running with this, but we're still asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And when you don't answer those in the first movie, you can't move forward. So a lot of people had a problem with The Last Jedi because you can't move forward when you don't have the answers. And, now we're, The Rise of Skywalker, which has to answer everything in one big jump. And, that can't help a story. I think really Hollywood should do a better job of hiring story writers. Bring in people who have good imagination. Disney used to have the Imagineers. Now they just have the bankers that count the money, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Now I want to go into like a topic that I'm very much into, as like you might be into it. What is your favorite Muppet movie? I know, tough choice, tough question.
Well, you see, I grew up with the original.
Okay.
I remember watching Animal blow up and the frog legs and all that. I still sing Rainbow Connection like Kermit, because I can't sing Rainbow Connection, and I can't really do Kermit. But if I do Rainbow Connection, I can do Kermit. Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? But I can't do Kermit any other way. But I really think the Muppets Take Manhattan captured all of it. I have yet to see Treasure Island. I have yet to see what's the other one? The Christmas Carol I didn't watch yet. I kind of want to see those, but I've heard people tell me, well, but I don't know. What's your favorite?
Okay, so it's funny is that you mentioned you haven't seen Muppet Treasure Island or Muppet Christmas Carol. I like those because the way I see it is like they're just what I love about the Muppet movies in particular compared to like other big movies is that you have the Muppets, but they always have some way of bringing in big name actors who are back in the day they were more bigger than they are now. Like when Muppet Christmas Carol came out, you had Michael Caine, and he was a bigger name back then. I mean, yes, he's still a big name now, but I feel like he was a bigger name back then. Muppet Treasure Island, you have Billy Connolly, and Tim Curry as Long John Silver. And it's funny is that, and if you know your history about Tim Curry, he also played another infamous pirate. He was in the Fox TV show Peter Pan and the Pirates, playing the infamous Captain James Hook, which was dark.
I'm a big fan of Tim Curry.
You what?
I'm a big fan of Tim Curry.
Because you look like him, right?
Well, not just because of that, but I'm just a big fan of
He's a really good actor. My favorite portrayal, it either has to be, I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors, but it would have to be either him in Muppet Treasure Island, because and I said this I think on one of my other streams before, I don't think you were on it. I think it was just me going solo. I'm obsessed with pirate movies.
I love them too.
The tale of Captain Hook and Peter Pan is my favorite part of pirate fiction. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean. I love how, in a way, there was a subtle mention to Captain Hook in the first Pirates of the Caribbean when you see Governor Swan, and this is when you get introduced to young Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan. You see Governor Swan, and he's wearing the colors that Captain Hook wore. So I thought that was really cool. And then also in the third movie, in the Brethren Court, he is one of the pirates. He didn't make an appearance, but he was one of the pirates. So I love. Wait. Oh, hey Kay. I think that's ME82SJM is K. I think. Fraggle Rock, I've never seen Curie, but I do want to see that. No, so I love him in that. I also love him in the movie, which is one of my favorite guilty pleasures. It's not a good movie. Like, it's not critically rated, critically audience, whatever, all that bullshit. But to me, it's just a fun movie. It's The Three Musketeers with him, Tim Curry, Oliver Platt, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell, Michael Wincott, Rebecca De Mornay, huge cast. But I love him in the Pirates. I mean, I love him as Long John Silver because he kind of has that ego, like that a certain somebody has. But I love him in the movie. You don't get introduced to the character until like maybe 30 minutes into the movie, but it's K. You don't. Oh my God. He just said, "What? Me? K? That devilishly handsome comedic genius with the best voice in the community?" So no, of course not. Nice try, K. You don't have the best. That devilishly handsome comedic genius. You don't have the best voice in the community. I do. But that was a pretty darn long intro. I mean, that could have been even longer than Lee's. So congratulations, Kay. You are now the longest intro person. So I love him in Muppet Treasure Island. I love how, they've always been really good with blending the live action versus the puppetry. And I actually watched a movie that Mara Jade, Sean Stackhouse reacts, and I think maybe one or two other people told me to watch, was The Dark Crystal.
Oh, yes.
I've never seen that before. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was... So you are K. I knew it. And what I had minor issues with the pacing. I felt it could have been a little bit shorter. To me, the music was a little bit off at some points. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I never realized that you had Frank Oz and Jim Henson provide the voices.
Well, Frank Oz does Miss Piggy, Gonzo, I think, Fozzie, and I think the Swedish Chef. I mean, I know between the two of them, they did most of them.
Yeah.
But then the most impressive thing about Jim Henson Studios is that his son took over and continued to do the work. I think his son does Kermit now, and most of the characters his father did. And it's really, I think that's probably the saving grace of the Muppets is that they haven't sold out to Disney. They just sold, they sold a certain number of movies to Disney, and Disney's paid them for those movies. And when that was over, now Jim Henson Studios can go out and do what they want still. So you get a little different. And like I said, I haven't seen them, so I'm not going to judge them. But I do like the Muppet movies. I like all of them. And they do a really good job. I think, there was something to be said about the fact that they integrated at the end of the Muppets Take Manhattan. They integrated everything that was Muppets.
Yeah,
Big Bird was in it.
I've never seen it. I think that is one of the other movies that Mara told me to check out.
You should. It's really good because at the end of it, the ending scene, which I won't tell you what it's actually about at the end, but at the ending scene, they have literally every Muppet creature that has ever been done. I wouldn't be surprised if it came out after Empire Strikes Back, if somewhere in there Yoda was in there. I wouldn't be surprised. But, you think of Jim Henson Studios, they did Labyrinth. They did The Dark Crystal. They did the Follow That Bird, which was the Sesame Street movie. They've done so much. And we're talking about, these are the people that pioneer puppets. These are the people that gave us Yoda and made us believe Yoda. And that's one thing, you hear in the Star Wars behind the scenes stuff all the time is that that whole movie was hinged on if people bought Yoda being real. And Frank Oz sold that. Frank Oz could sell ice to an Eskimo because of what he did with Yoda. And,
Facts.
yeah, so I will definitely get around to watching those. It's not that I'm not going to, and I don't know if they've got any other plans on the way, but
I don't believe so. I mean,
well, I know they're doing the Dark Crystal TV, the series,
yeah,
the prequel stuff, and that will be really interesting how they do it now.
that's going to be on Netflix, right?
I believe so, and I am kind of interested in watching that.
Yeah.
I was scared to death growing up with the Dark Crystal, though.
Oh, I bet if I had watched it when I was younger, I would have been as well, because some of the images in the movie are very creepy.
Well, some of the characters, it's just the way that they're like. Some of the characters they ride, these like not horses, but these characters,
long striders, I think.
They have those like the shoulder blades that just protrude and stuff. And I think there was something that bothered me about that. And it's a very mystical, almost, I don't want to say witchcraft, but it's kind of like that. And it's not your typical Muppet movie. But it's very whimsical. And it wasn't until I was probably 10 or so that I really started to like that movie. And I don't get to watch it as much as I would like to. I've got it, but I don't know. I had to be in the right mood for it. But I'm really kind of stoked to see what they'll do with it. Netflix, for me, does a better job than some of the streaming services with their series choices. I'm interested about The Mandalorian, but I also know it's Disney, and I also know Disney likes to put lipstick on a pig and make it look good from a distance, but when you get close to it, it looks like lipstick on a pig. So while I want to see The Mandalorian, I would say I'm more interested in the Dark Crystal prequel series. So yeah, so.
And have you ever seen the movie? It was produced by Tim Burton and it was directed by Henry Selick, James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah, I saw it once.
Yeah,
but it's good. I'm a big Tim Burton fan. I love his visual style.
I didn't like Big Eyes, or the movie that had, I think, Christoph Waltz and Amy Adams in it.
Yeah, Big Fish.
No,
I know what you're talking. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Big Fish was with Ewan McGregor, I believe.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that a lot.
I like that one too.
More than
but I like Beetlejuice. I like
Batman Returns.
Edward Scissorhands. I liked that.
Yeah.
Now one that isn't him,
Frankenweenie, I loved.
Yeah. Corpse's Bride, I think, was his.
Yeah. I was.
And
go
ahead.
The funny thing is that when you watch, because I love James and the Giant Peach 100%, and when you look at the style of the movie, the style is so similar to what you see in like Corpse's Bride and whatnot, and I was really confused as to, how as to, like, I thought it was Tim Burton, but when I googled it, it turned out to be Henry Selick, who also directed Coraline.
Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. Coraline is one
and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, Nightmare Before Christmas was Tim Burton.
Tim Burton directed it? Nope, he did not.
Well, I thought he did.
The person who knows more about movies than me. Nope, it was Henry Selick. Burton produced it.
That might be why.
Yep.
But that's the thing. Did Tim Burton produce Coraline?
No, he might have. Because we're right here. The Nightmare Before Christmas, also known as Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, is a 1993 American stop-motion animated musical dark fantasy Halloween Christmas film directed by Henry Selick and produced and conceived by Tim Burton.
See, I think that's the thing is that Tim Burton has taken certain people under his wing and
Yeah.
taught them this style. Now,
Henry Selick also directed Coraline. It was the first
Mhm.
feature film with Leica. And I guess he works with Pixar.
oh, interesting.
He's directed Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, Monkey Bone, also an executive producer, Moon Girl, 2005 short, Coraline, also a writer and producer,
Mhm.
Little Nightmares. He was an in-betweener on Pete's Dragon.
So who produced Coraline?
Burton. Hold on, I'm gonna check it because
No,
Henry Selick, but also
Bill Mechanic, Claire Jennings, and Mary
I thought it
Sandel.
was Burton for some reason.
Yeah, I thought so too. But you see, that's the thing that he has just kind of sparked the second person that can do those things. And it was so great because I watched Coraline. I was like, ooh, I like this. I like dark, twisted things. I'm dark and twisted, so it works. Okay, Thomas,
Mhm.
I hate to do this to you, but I will
No, you
have to
don't.
be going. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have work tomorrow, and it comes very early, and I'll be lucky to get sleep anyway. So I got to go and get
What
some
time
more
do you
stuff
start
done.
work at tomorrow?
I have to be up about 3:30 in the morning.
So, but what time do you start at?
I get there and start around 5, and I work till 3:30.
Okay, you are one crazy mofo.
I know that. I tell people that. I try to make
You-
sure people know that up front.
You don't work on the weekend, right? Though.
I work on Saturdays, but Sundays and Mondays I'm off.
Wow.
Yep.
You're on Saturdays and on like Saturday. Is it different? Is the schedule? Is the shift different?
No.
Oh my god. So that's why you're always able to be on Mary's karaoke stream because you're off.
Yeah, it's easier for
Like
me to
at
be on the
3.
karaoke stream, but when I'm on Shenanigans, it's definitely funny. And all those nights that I've been drunk on yours or on her streams,
Mhm.
I literally do. I go to work and I'm just barely getting over that.
Oh my god. You are insane. Well, I hear you. I have to. Luckily, I don't have to start work till noon tomorrow. But last night I was up till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning because I was listening in on Lee Cole the fourth stream. for a
And he
while.
goes all night.
He went on for 3 hours. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
how the hell can you do that? I couldn't.
Well, I could, but
I mean,
I've learned to cut my stuff down to about an hour.
which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
No,
Thomas.
not a problem. If you're not doing anything on tomorrow around like 10, I am doing a shenanigans stream.
Okay. Well,
It's not a shenanigans, it's a shenanigans. My word.
okay. Well, get with me on Couture, and we will see where I'm at. I can
All right.
probably come on for a little bit for sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Alrighty. Have a good night. Thank you. for
Same to
coming
you.
on.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna end this because it's 5 minutes to midnight. Thank you for everyone to coming on. Appreciate it. Love you all. And good night.